So here is the moment of reckoning. In exactly about 50 minutes from now, India will be attempting to do a miracle. India will be attempting the impossible. They will be facing Australia in the AFC Asian Cup, and there is a lot at stake here. Beat Australia and then you enter into the third round of the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. It will be a big boost in that sense. Now remember, this isn't a cricket contest where it will be Australia or even India or even. This is football. Football in this way, you have to say that Australia are miles ahead when you have to look at it. That is why India are facing a big task in itself. Now before I come to what is the situation with India and Australia and how they are going to do it in Qatar, I'll give you India's lineup for this crunch encounter against Australia. So, the first name that you will see here is Gurpreet, Rahul Beke, Subhashish Bose, Sandesh Jhingan. A lot will depend upon him. Then you've got Nikhil Pujari, Suresh Wangjam, Manveer Singh. You cannot look beyond Sunil Chhetri. August of 2024, he is going to turn 40. And at 39 and at 40, he is becoming better and better. He said that he wants to ensure that apart from this AFC Asia Cup, he wants to prolong his tenure even more. So that is why Indian football is Sunil Chhetri. Sunil Chhetri is Indian football. His contribution today will be minutely scrutinized because if he can get India over the line, his legacy will be cemented as one of the best ever. Can you believe it? Lionel Messi and Sunil Chhetri, if you look at their playing tenure internationally, it's almost the same, 19 to 20 years. So that is why this match represents the ultimate crescendo for Sunil Chhetri. Then you've got the two Mizoram players. A lot will depend even upon them also. Changte and Ralte. Ralte is also nicknamed Apuya. That's why these two will also be a very important part in that. And then you got Deepak Tangri. Now remember, India have been beset by a lot of injury concerns, and that is why heading into this contest, they are slightly the underdogs because all the other key players have been plagued low by injuries, and because of that, all will depend upon the likes of Jhingan, will depend upon Chhetri, and if you have to look at it, the others will have to play a big supporting role in that. Remember, Jhingan for FC Goa has had a pretty okayish time at this point. Chhetri has not had a good time with FC Bengaluru, but then Bengaluru FC, sorry. But now, on the bigger stage, his contributions will be needed at a much bigger level. But as I had mentioned, in football, Australia are right up here, India are slightly here because look at the rankings. India are outside of the 100 ranking, they are 102 at this point in time. Australia are 25. Now remember, Australia had played in the FIFA World Cup of 2022 where their only two losses came against Argentina and France, the two finalists. Australia have put on a brilliant display, and in the last 5 games, if you look at it, Australia have won 4 encounters. The one loss came against England, but that was a very narrow loss, 1-0. But India on the other hand, in their last 5 games, they have lost 4. One was the win against Kuwait, but then after that, when they came to, when they were playing Qatar, they were just blown out of the park. They lost 3-0 there. And that is why the loss that they had against Qatar was really morale defeating. That's why Australia will be hopeful that they can continue to pile on the pain against India. Yes, not much is expected from the Indian football team at this point in time. But remember, they do have the tendency to put up a fight. And under Igor Stimac, if you have to look at it, they have always managed to put on a good show. Stimac himself has stated that yes, about 12 years ago, we did not have minute details of the Australian players themselves. But now we have details, so we know who we are coming up against. Technology has helped in a big way, and that's why knowing the players on the park, India will be very determined to ensure that they do not slip up against the Aussies. So, Igor Stimac seems to be having this confidence that translates into the Indian football team at this point in time. So, his words might very well boost the Indian team in a big way. But remember, Australia have played multiple World Cups. India have never played World Cups in such an extent. Now, if you look at the head-to-head, it's Australia 4, India 3. Yes, if you look at the last three, especially if you look at it in 1956, that was a golden year for Indian football because they defeated Australia twice. One margin was by 7-1 against them. So yes, Indian football has managed to beat Australia. It's not as if they've never beaten them, but yes, after the 60s, Indian football digressed in a big way, and that's why now they are in the outer fringes of even qualification as well. So Australia with 4 wins, especially with the last encounter, a Tim Cahill masterclass in 2011 ensured that they won 4-0 against them. So Australia beat India 4-0 in 2011. Now 13 years later, can India turn the tables around? We hope that India can produce a miracle, because remember, somewhere down the line, India has to start afresh in 2024, and 2024, let me tell you, is a very important year for Indian football because their World Cup fortunes will be determined, if not now, by August 2024. But for August, the performances will have to start in January itself. So that's why Australia with a 4-3 advantage plus rankings advantage 25-102. But remember, Indian football in the past has put on a good show, even if you look at 2023 for that matter. The SAF Cup win, the IC, the Intercontinental Cup, even the Kings Cup, they put in some very good performances indeed. SAF Cup, as we all know, has always been India's ultimate fortress. But the ICC Cup as well as the Kings Cup, the performances there has put Indian football in a very good light indeed. And because of this now, let's hope that Chhetri's troops can really put on a great show here. Sandesh Jingan, Sunil Chhetri, all of them have a big role today. So in the next 40 minutes or so, we are going to see India take on Australia in the AFC Asian Cup. If India wins, it is going to be a red letter day in Indian football. But if they lose, then their hopes are by a very slender margin then. August, we will know what is the situation with the Indian football team when it comes to the qualification for the FIFA World Cup. So, we will also be bringing you a post-match analysis, a special post-match analysis of the AFC Asian Cup when that finishes, as after the full-time whistle is blown. The preview here is just for fans who want to know about the AFC Asian Cup. What is at stake here? How does Australia hold an edge? Can India defeat them? What are the score predictions that you're saying? Well, I don't know much about the score predictions as to how India and Australia will perform, but I can only say this, that Australia will start as one of the favourites. India, on the other hand, maybe they will have a 20% chance of pulling off an upset, but if they do, it will be a spectacular day indeed for them. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with the post-match analysis of India versus Australia in the AFC Asian Cup. So subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.